Liberated, freed, released, free from traditional social restraints, sisters, girls or women who share a common ancestry, allegiance, character, or purpose with another or others, fellow Black women or girls.
Flash that a little bit. Peace and blessings. I'm not sure if you heard that because of the music. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings to you all. Eid Mubarak. That means, oh my God, blessed Eid for Ramadan. This is the last day of the holy month of Ramadan in terms of the fast. And we're now getting ready to go into the celebration. And do not let the voice and persona fool you. I'm having a party about it inside. But, ooh, it's really on with it today. I said, Satan said, I'm coming get you. You're not getting through Ramadan. But I am by Allah's grace and mercy, and I have. And so we we still have a great show planned for you, but I regret to let you know, I don't regret. I need to let you know that our big, beautiful brother, Sultan Muhammad, who is the author of the book that is on our flyer this week, Farrakhan World Tours and Press Conference. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's World Friendship Tours, 1996 to 1998. Due to production difficulties, our brother will not be with us today. He will be with us in the very near future. What do I mean about the production difficulties? Well, Sister Charlene Muhammad did forget to remind her guests. And so at any rate, I apologize to you all because I did put out that our brother would be here. And one of the things that is happening, and I'll bring Sister Attorney Pamela Muhammad in, Houston-based attorney, and Dr. Ridgley Muhammad of Muhammad Farms in Georgia, NOI, the Nation of Islam Ministry of Agriculture. He is also a member of the Nation of Islam Research Group. One of the things that we're going to be talking about, of course, is we're going to be talking about some of the news headlines out of the Final Call newspaper. Our beloved brother, my big brother, Nova's here. Brother Abdul Akbar Muhammad, our minister, our international representative for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, has made his transition. And so let's bring in the panelists right now. And again, just please accept my apologies that our big brother Sultan will not be with us this week, but he, however, inshallah, will be with us in the very near future. We desire next week, however, Brother Akbar's janaza is next week, and there are other things afoot. One of them being my own brother, Brian. Not next week, but it's coming soon. He made his transition around this time a few years ago, and Covenant House, the charity that he worked for, really gave really all of his preteen to his teen to adult life for, is honoring him with renaming a campus. And also New York is doing something for him, but the Oakland campus for Covenant House is now going to be named the Brian K. Bob House. And so
Oh,
a
that's
lot of
awesome.
things are going on. The war of Armageddon, right? Um, famine, all of the shock of the hour, but also personal things, and then just a beautiful Ramadan. Oh, just the fact that to be able to say Ramadan. So anyway, I would like to have you both um, just share what's on your hearts right now. I really sometimes I go off script. Like what script, Charlene? But I'm talking about really today. This show is one of those. We will get to the headlines of the Final Call newspaper. Um, I'll even would like to talk about something with Brother Sultan's book in his absence. But at any rate, I need to deal with some background over here. Nova wants to be part of the show, and it's just never happening. So let me go and deal with Nova Cash Muhammad. That's my son's dog. She's our dog. She's a husky. He's at school at Grambling. And we promised his father, we promised to help take care of her. And we're saying, get you an apartment and come get your dog. Dr. Rizzi, can she come to the farm? She's good in terms
Well,
of, she's a husky.
I already have two comedians.
On that note, opening remarks from you.
Yes, Dr. Ridgley.
Well, I made a joke about I got two comedians. I too have two young dogs who got to help run the deer and the wild hogs off the farm, off the land, and they just remind me is that how intelligent beings are, that Allah is produced for us to help us to maneuver in this universe, and we're really blessed. And we did a presentation last night in Albany dealing with disaster preparedness, and the title was "Don't Get Scared, Get Prepared."
Mm.
And of course, this is what we're doing with the Stable Goods Project, is to help the people to get prepared, because we've been warned, we've been taught here in the Final Call newspaper, what the minister is talking about. This is the 2000 and what? Let me see the date on this article. It's in the present Final Call newspaper. It's this is 2004. He's talking about the valley of the shadow of death.
Mm.
And so he's been warning us about the poisons that we've been given, and warning us about the worst is yet to come, and telling us there's going to be famine. And actually, the famine and the COVID, I don't want to say it's better than what's been going on, but when you know that you have a problem, you can act on it. But when you're lulled to sleep, when you made to feel that you are a part of the system and that you treated equally, it sets you up to be slowly wiped out. And that's what they've been doing to us, slowly wiping us out, and we're not fighting back because they put us to sleep. But now, with with COVID, with this war, with the weather, everybody knows there's going to be shortages of food. People are going back to the land. We've been telling you to go back to the land for umpteen years, but now the people are going back to the land. The people are cooking. The people are looking at labels. When they go to the store, they're looking at labels. So it's like this bad time is really a good time, because it's made us aware that we have an enemy, and we better do something to take care of ourselves and our family. the black man has been taken out of his home. You know, you got mothers with multiple baby daddies that is destroying our community with drugs, guns. They've been at war with us, but we have not been fighting back. But now we are fighting back, and not to fight them, but to do something for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to start trying to figure out a way that we can all work together. Somebody asked the question, do you ever think that the black Muslims and the black Christians will work together? Well, quite as it's kept, a number of times we were developing that relationship, and then the enemy got involved with it. In the 60s, Malcolm X was working with Martin Luther King behind the scenes, trying to get a coalition between the black Christians and the black Muslims. But then here came the assassination of JFK, and his chicken coming home to roost, and then that divided up the Christians and the Muslims again. Then we have the Million Man March. The Million Man March, the majority of those men who came were not Muslims. They were Christians. And we had our local organizing committees with a Christian minister and a Muslim minister chairing it. But then they came with 911. And it was so bad that the minister Farrakhan told our sisters not to wear their headpieces in public because we were being targeted. Now we know that what they did was a false flag. It was a lie. But again, they broke that bond that we were developing between the black Muslims and the black Christians. So every time we tried to work together, here comes the enemy who knows who we are to make sure we never unite, because if we ever unite, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that's more powerful than an atomic weapon. So they always have been dividing us up. Can we work together? Yes, we can. And understand who the enemy is. And this time, white people are waking up to who this enemy is that we've been trying to tell them, that's been working this division between the black and the white, playing both of us off, because we're all to them, we'll go in, we're cattle. Now, white people are realizing that they're cattle. Mm-hmm. And they're putting a lot of the ministers' tapes on their pages now.
That's right.
Excerpt from Minister Farrakhan. So Minister Farrakhan doesn't have to say anything now. There's a lot of white people and black people, Christians and Muslims, putting words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan up today that now is news, but he gave it to you before it was news because he told you what was going to happen. Now people are realizing that he was telling us the truth then. We should have acted on it then, but what do we do now that we know is the truth? So that's where we are. That's my opening statement. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah, and you know what, Dr. Ridgley, I'm listening to you, and you brought up a word that is a word that I think we all use so often, but it's like, do we really understand the depth of the meaning? And that's do for self. You know, yesterday I was writing, it's like kind of like, what have I been doing? And it's like, well, what does doing mean? And so I ended up looking up the word do for self. And it is the largest definition of any word that I've seen in such a long time. I mean, to do, it's like we perform, we execute, we cover, we fulfill, we compose, we present, we carry out. And I think it kind of, what I'm saying is that there's so much for us to do. You know, it's not like a trite comment, you know, as Dr. Ridgley was saying, as we join with our Christian brothers and sisters, or, you know, anyone who is in this time recognizing the time of what must be done. When we talk about doing for self, that is such a huge admonition. I mean, I tell you, Sister Charlene, it was the longest. And I ask that all of us as believers, we need to look up that word, because it's like, are we really using God's time? Are we really using Allah's time? Are we really doing, for self or doing anything?
That's right.
So I just kind of wanted to put that out. As you were saying earlier, Sister Charlene, I think the time we're living in, in the final call, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's article, Seek Refuge in Allah, God, the Lord of the Dawn. We are living in a time where seeking refuge is so important. And I just wanted to close. I read the article by Brother Jabril Muhammad, and I thought it was a very interesting article, of course. It's entitled, Allah God Requires from Us Greater Inner Development. Mm-hmm. I know I skipped from the minister's article, Seeking Refuge in Allah, but it relates because in Brother Jabril's article, in the last paragraph, second to the last paragraph, he talks about the minister, and he talks about, as he's saying, Allah God requires for us greater inner development. Well, Brother Jabril references in a speech, the minister, he says, in a speech he delivered June 17, 2002 at Union Temple Baptist Church in Washington, D.C., he stated, referring to the minister, history says that those who are moved by the Spirit to go contrary to the flow of traffic toward madness, and who wish to be recorded as a sane voice, though crying in the wilderness for peace, are often reviled and persecuted, maligned, and evil spoken of by their contemporaries, who never quite get to know them until after they're gone. And Brother Jabril wraps up this article by saying, there are wonderful lessons in the life and example of Minister Farrakhan. He said, let's improve our knowledge and understanding of him and spread them to others for their sakes and ours. And so that's kind of what you were saying too, Dr. Ridgley, with the different people, Caucasian people all over the world who are starting to recognize the wisdom and the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as well as his life. So I wanted to raise those points from the final call to begin with. Yes, ma'am. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you both. It's okay, Attorney Pamela, because Sister Pamela, we're touching on it's a lot happening, and we're touching on things. But one of the key things is Brother Minister Akbar.
Yes, ma'am.
I definitely, certainly don't want to gloss over that.
Absolutely.
And we're not gloss. I mean, it's not intentional, but just in terms of a pause. I want to take a beat there, and you all, if you could, share anything you would like to share. I'm not saying that we're doing tributes or anything, but I just really wanted to ask that and offer you that. If you want to make a remark regarding our dear brother, I want to find the announcement so that I can also show that. I'm going to show that. So those who may be tuning in may not be aware and who he is, and we won't get into a lot of it, but I do at least want to put the announcement of, up. And,
Yes, ma'am. And yes, ma'am. So this morning I listened to the Ummah Reflects, which is the Ramadan, the daily prayer, 30-day during Ramadan. And they did a show, and they actually brought on several of the comments. Did you listen to that, Sister Charlene? Or I don't know, but they brought on Minister Akbar's excerpts, 3, and they were such beautiful. I would implore all of us to go and pull that down off of Podbean and listen to the Ummah Reflects as they remembered Brother Minister Akbar this morning, Brother Abdul Akbar. And I just would say that, Brother Akbar, I remember him for his wisdom and his scholarship, because I was able, I'm being a native of St. Louis. I was blessed to,
Right.
see
Thank
him in some times during my time in St. Louis. And he was so wise, so scholarly. I mean, always so filled with information that our people just love to hear him speak, and all of his stories and his just wisdom. And so, I keep saying this word, it's like a real like Renaissance man. It was just so very classy and very spiritual. And so may Allah be pleased with him. And I do send condolences to his beautiful family for such a wonderful father and husband and
Yes, ma'am.
helper. What in his title, Sister Brother Ridgley, maybe you can correct me. Is it the recording
angel?
Angel, right? Right. And
he was
such
a recording angel, just larger than life.
yes.
I mean, I Dr. Richard, I think I put it in the thread where we there's so many communication threads, but we come across each other. But I actually was, after prayer, the day of his transition, the day Allah called him home. We called him in, right? After prayer, I said I was in the mood to hear a certain message from the minister. I was like, oh, I want to hear this. Or am I going to watch the news? And I don't know, have you all ever experienced going one place and then your device, whatever, but I'm talking about technology now, the phone or computer just keeps bouncing you back somewhere else. And so I was going to one screen, oh, I want to hear this by the minister, but another one came up and it kept bouncing back, we would say glitching, but it wasn't glitching. I was supposed to see it because what it was I don't know that that's the case, but it appeared to be one of, if not, I think it was the first major world tour that international assignment, I'll say, travels, that it appeared that Brother Minister Akbar had and his wife, beautiful wife at that time, and they both spoke. And the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan. And I will, when I finish the point, get the link and put it there for us in the chat. Duty bound to do that. But they were so beautiful and they spoke about, the experience, and he opened up about Fiji. It was just really beautiful to see. But for I kept saying, oh, wow, let me watch this. I'd seen it before, but when I was in the world, as we say, when I was not in the nation. But this time I saw it as a member, knowing Brother Akbar, in terms of covering him. And this is how these things happen. I've been blessed to go, as you talk about, we're blessed, Dr. Rissa, to go from interviewing him to actually being guided by him and, and helped, right? Tutored, if you will, mentored. So, especially in media, at any rate, that after that, I'd watch the whole thing. And then when I docked at a destination, that's when I started getting the news. So I was like, look at this, it's no coincidences. But at any rate, Dr. Risley, would you like to? And then I'll go into, because you said, Sister Pamela, you said, I know I kind of skirted over the minister's article. Well, we're going to skirt right back to it.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Risley.
Well, there's two things I want to, I'm going to ask y'all a question when you heard something, what he's taught. So don't let me forget that. But I was blessed to go to Liberia and Ghana with Minister Akbar in 1999, and that was life changing for me. Because if you all know me, I pick up on everything, and you can't pick up on something that you ain't experienced. So he gave me the opportunity to be with him as we toured Liberia and Ghana and talked to the officials in Liberia. And the thing that struck me, we was in Liberia right after the latest Civil War,
Mm, mm,
and there was no electricity. Okay, their power grid was down.
wow.
And I remember that night, I heard this music, and I went out on the balcony, and I heard all this music. You know, black folks go play some music, but I'm thinking where they get the electricity from. And there was light, not a whole lot of light in the house, but I could see light in the houses. And so I said, I thought the electricity was down. But then the next day, I asked the Liberians. I said, "What's going on?" I thought, well, the hotel, of course, had its own generator. So we had electricity at the hotel because they had generator. I said, "Do all these people have generators?" And they said, "No. This is how it goes." And right there, it gave me chills to realize black folk go make it no matter what. We go make it somehow, anyhow.
Wow.
But I know it's also how the people were so clean. Their clothes were so clean. They was walking, but their clothes were so clean. So I said, "Wait a minute, I thought you just had you don't have electricity. How you wash your clothes?" So anyhow,
Wow.
okay, this is the deal. This is black folk. This is black folk. Okay, now the taxis. Okay, they were diesel, right? So once you crank the car up, you don't need the battery. So what the cab drivers would do is they would charge your battery for you while they doing their driving around. He would have a number of batteries that he would be charging for his other clients. Because once you get started, you don't need your battery. So he put the other battery there to charge it up. Okay, so then they ran everything off, even the refrigerators, the music, the washing machines. They ran it off of DC motors. Okay, 12-volt DC motors. So they had the amenities, but they didn't have the power from the system. But they had another system they had set up using cabbies.
Wow.
Okay, I mean that just gave me so much confidence that somehow black folks go make it happen.
Yes, sir.
And then the other question I wanted to ask you two, whether you heard this or not, because I know I heard Minister Akbar on a number of occasions give this historical stuff. Said he went down to New Zealand and he ran into the Maori tribe. Maori tribe, and he said that they had a star and crescent ring just like ours.
Oh wow!
Cutting in the same direction as ours, and they had a food that they had. It was fermented. It was a fermented corn pie. And I said, "Wait a minute." Master Farad Muhammad, they had the ring. They had a lot of the histories that we have. They that he gave somebody gave the Maori tribe. Okay, but then in America we have this fermented bean pie, and the bean pie, I like to say, is you cannot, in the Nation of Islam, we do not drink alcohol. First of all, if any of y'all heard him talk about the Maori tribe?
No.
I recall, but not in detail. I recall, brother Dr. Ridgley, yes.
Okay. So this is just one of Dr. Ridgley's crazy stuff. Okay.
No.
Okay. You come into the wilderness of North America. You come into a human jungle. You're going into Black Bottom and other places.
That's right.
If you're going into the wilderness into a jungle, people say carry you some lumps of sugar so that you can offer it to a wild animal, and they may calm them down and may make them your friend. Well, we hand out the bean pie to the black man. Now, in the bean pie, there's a lot of different ingredients, including the flour and the sugar and the eggs and all that. What if it ferments in your stomach to produce just a little bit of and so it calms the black man down without him drinking any alcohol.
Wow.
Because his body is making just a little bit, not enough to get high, but just to chill you out a bit. And I make this joke about that bean pie. You can leave your wife and children with a black Muslim brother. You don't have to worry about it. But you cannot lay down an unattached bean pie.
No.
I was thinking about a bean pie.
You cannot lay down an unattached bean pie.
No, sir.
Because a brother will say, where's this bean pie come? Oh, praise is due to Allah. Allah blessed me with this bean pie. You know what I mean? It's just something about that bean pie. And whenever I go to Chicago, like I did Savior's Day, first thing I do is find me a bean pie. Find me a Chicago bean pie.
Supreme bean pie.
Bean pie. That's my first meal whenever I hit Chicago.
Wow.
My first meal, I eat a whole bean pie. Yes. You know, I get two of them, one for me, and my wife, she can cut slices of hers, you understand? But I eat the whole thing eventually.
Yes, sir.
So that's, you know, it's in the Nation of Islam, we run into so many characters like Minister Akbar, okay? Minister Abdullah Allah, right? Yeah. We run into so many characters who because they have been awakened and they are striving to help the minister and to develop themselves, because Minister Akbar was just smooth, you know what I mean? He was very calm, very smart. He was just cool, you know? True. So it's like this thing is making us. You go back to the whole thing about the inner development that the Ramadan is all about. This inner development. That's what it's all about. This whole life is all about inner development, so we become one with Allah.
Yes, sir.
So that now Mr. Farrakhan is saying, now we must be the walking Quran.
Right.
Okay? Not just, you know, saying it, you know, now you know Arabic, and that makes a big deal. You can say Arabic. No. Can you live it now? Yes. Can you think as Allah would want you to think on any given situation? Do you reflect on what would Allah do? What would He think? What would He say? Therefore, what should I say? Because now it's time for me to represent Allah. First, make myself into a vessel, and then represent and put that, and us putting that light into the world. Look at that. Look at Farrakhan, and look at now look at that Farrakhan. Look at Farrakhan. There's no smiler than that right now. Mr. Farrakhan's smile is just incredible, and you know we were blessed. He was there for Savior's Day, and we didn't think he was going to be there for us, but he just has this glow, this sunlight. He comes into a room, he changes the whole atmosphere of the room. Now, people want to act like they don't feel it and don't see it.
Right.
You know something special about that man when he come into the room.
That's right.
Let me show that walk.
Look at that. I mean, come on. Them gods. Come on. Them gods right there. Right.
Straight up.
Them gods. These are the representatives of our people. These are the ones who represent who we all strive to be like. Okay? These are the kings and queens that they buried and lied about. and think that we will never be able to produce any like that because we never had any like that. Well, here are two of them like that we have, Allah has made for us to show you what we used to be like.
Yes, sir.
And now they're taking it to a whole different level. So, Minister Akbar was there with the minister when they had like 26 schools.
Wow.
In the New York area.
Okay.
And he was part of that activity. So the minister, you got to understand, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad sent Minister Farrakhan down into New York right after Malcolm was assassinated. And he turned that city into a lover of the nation and Farrakhan.
That's right.
And Minister Akbar was a part of that. The way he trained his ministers, he put them on street corners. Okay? In Brooklyn. He put them on street corners. That's where you got this soapbox type of thing. It was the Nation of Islam. That's how he was training ministers, was on street corners. So again, it was a beautiful time and a powerful time. And the enemy had to do what he did to destroy what was being produced over and over again. He destroyed one time, we come back. Destroyed over that, we just keep coming back. But all praises are due to Allah for their privilege of being able to see and meet with these men and work with these men and learn with these two men right here, these two brothers. So may Allah be pleased with our brother, Minister Akbar Muhammad, a great soldier, a great leader, and a great representative for us to study, understand, and learn from and grow and emulate the best part of. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. And I was, got to be honest, my mom's calling in. I was like, oh, I almost stopped the show. And speaking of moms, mother of the faithful, here they are, the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan, his recording angel, and the one and only Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, our mother of the faithful. Look at them. I want to see what the caption is here.
And you know what, Dr. Ridgley, you may be on to something with that bean pie, because speaking of moms, I would come home from the mosque and my mother, she lived to be 95, and she'd always be sitting there like, where's my bean pie? She'd always be like, where's my bean pie? Because our people love that pie. And so that's what made me think of that. And also, I think with Brother Akbar, I just wanted to add one thing. When I immediately thought about him, and I thought about Black radio, I thought about talk radio, because at one time he was pushing, one of the brothers, I think his name is Bob Law, who had been a big DJ and who did a documentary on the importance of Black radio. And just listening to you talk, and Sister Charlene, you began it, us talking about positive energy and Allah and the minister and Brother Akbar, it has the ability to change our mindset, lift our spirits. And that was one of the issues that they talk about Black radio and Black talk show, how important it was in the 60s, because it really did feed our people. And I know, Dr. Ridgley, you remember that. I remember in St. Louis, we had some pretty good AM radio stations that constantly feeding empowerment and Black pride and Black power. And I think Brother Akbar was really right there, if I recall.
Well, and we now, some of the young people don't even know about that. And we older people sometimes take it for granted what in fact we did have. In our segregated communities. See, what they messed up was Malcolm and Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1963. The messenger stated that the 1964 elections, we was going to run Black congressmen in the predominantly Black congressional districts, not voting for the Senate or the presidency, but for those seats that we could actually take. And so when Malcolm mentioned that on October 11th, 1963, you go to the University of California at Berkeley, October 11th, 1963, where he talked about this, the Nation of Islam, the Black Muslims being this political force. But of course, when he said chicken coming home to roost, then no longer could we unite with the Black Christians, because Elijah Muhammad had told him, don't say anything about the assassination because our people love John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
But when he said chicken coming home to roost, then that whole plan of the Black Muslims and the Black Christians getting together and setting up some congressional districts, the Black congressional districts, and then us establishing a working relationship. In other words, turning those segregated Black communities into separated communities working together. In other words, we work together as an umbrella, operational unity.
Okay.
Operational unity. This was what was being established in 1963 after they killed Medgar Evers. It was about to blow up. And Martin Luther King and Malcolm, they stepped into that fire, and we was trying to work together to lead our people out of that, to turn that fire into a working relationship in our communities where we would support one another. And this is when they had to bring Malcolm away and later on assassinate him and then turn him into an integrationist, because they was really afraid of what the messenger and Malcolm were about to do in the 1964 elections. So again, what we was doing with Motown and all this positive stuff that we was doing in a segregated environment, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was going to turn that into a network of separated portions of the town, and then it's like Minister Ava suggested that we do here in the South. She suggested that each city produce a product and then trade with each other in the region.
Okay.
Well, this is what was being set up with this operational unity behind the assassination of Medgar Evers, leading up to those revolutionary speeches and programs developed by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Malcolm by November. But then they killed Kennedy, and they had Malcolm break away to make that statement. Don't know why he did that, because just 2 months later, he was all for working with this operational unity and giving Honorable Elijah Muhammad credit for this. Whereas the book, the Autobiography of Malcolm X, they try to make you think that it was Malcolm X who came up with that idea in '64 after he left the nation. But you go to October 11th, University of California at Berkeley, and you see Malcolm X with his own mouth admit to the world there was Honorable Elijah Muhammad who came with that idea and spoken to 10,000 people on September 29th of 1963. So there's a whole set of histories that you don't know about, that they've hidden because they want to make you think that something is wrong with us. No, we know what to do. But every time we do what we need to do, you come with some BS. Because you know who we are, because you just stole our identity. You're trying, so-called Jews, just stole our identity, and now they don't want us to wake up because they got the whole world falling behind the lie that they have produced.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ridgley, for that. And as you were speaking about that part of history, our brother, student minister Dimitri Muhammad, out of Muhammad Mosque 55, but also I forgot the other city too. There down in Tennessee, has a book as well as lecture series. But didn't y'all kill Malcolm? Right. And so it's at researchminister.com, where he also incidentally has every year, thank Allah, thus far for the last several, the Ramadan journal. Thank you, brother student minister Dimitri.
Yes.
So there was one thing I wanted to talk about. I was got it. I see this as you were speaking about um, Brother Minister Jabril and others. Let's just caption this photograph here, and then coming soon we'll go into the Final Call newspaper. But I also must get the link for the message from the Final Call administration building that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Minister Abdul Akbar, please forgive me, sister's wife, at that time. Just so beautiful, beautiful sister. So, but it'll be there. So we have from what I guess screen left. We'll start. Well, in the center, we see right there the light, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Minister Jabril, the angel. We have Brother Minister Akbar right there. Look at these angels. Just angels, just God's recording angel right there. I'm not sure who's on the far right screen, right, but there's Brother Brian E. Muhammad, who is our staff writer. Look at Brother Brian.
Wow.
Look at Brother Brian. And by the way, Brother Brian, God willing, inshallah, will be making an announcement about Brother Akbar on the Carl Nelson show. Our dear great brother Carl Nelson is going to be receiving Brother Brian to make an announcement to his many, 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 many viewers, Carl Nelson. And so there's Brother Brian E. Of course, our Brother Minister Farrakhan's son, Brother Mustafa Muhammad. Mustafa Farrakhan Muhammad, our student supreme captain and member of the Nation of Islam Executive Shura Council, right there, along with our other Shura Council member and family brother Leonard Farrakhan Muhammad. And so there is that right there. Who's the brother on the right?
I don't know. I'm looking. I can't get my screen big enough.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's so. Let me see. I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
All right. Look, I got.
Okay. Let's see who is it.
Brother. Look, let me call Brother Brian real quick. With Brother Brian. Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
Well, we will know soon. One thing, not tonight, but one of the things is, I guess not before the show is over. One of the things is that thank you to the Final Call staff and team that put these images together, because this is on the I'm sorry, Final Call. Same well, I was gonna say same, but at any rate, the Nation of Islam Final Call Facebook page.
Okay.
Look at whoa.
Yeah.
Our brother Jerry.
That was powerful when Minister Akbar set that up, and we had Savior's Day in Ghana. That was so powerful. I remember the minister held up the picture of I think it's from the Time magazine, what it was called, the Minister of Rage. And then the minister broke down what is a rage. And he said, "Well, I guess I am the Minister of Rage."
He sure did. That's our beloved sister Claudette Marie Muhammad, who is emeritus, protocol emeritus, right? But yeah,
Mr. Sharif, Captain Sharif,
Sharif Muhammad, who was then the supreme captain, and Jerry John Rollins. I was not here in the ranks. I was not a card-carrying member of the Nation of Islam at that time, but I was watching. I was like, whoa. Oh my God, I would love to go to Ghana with them. Well, I went to Jamaica. I made it to Jamaica, but look at that. Look at Brother Akbar. Brother Akbar. Woo!
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure who the interview, the Final Call newspaper, the next edition is going to have some beautiful coverage of our brother, and I'm looking forward to it. Look at brother.
Well, one thing about Brother Akbar.
Brother Joshua Farrakhan. Go ahead, brother. Okay.
When he gives a presentation, he didn't preach. He taught.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he kept you glued. because the information he gave was light, and he didn't need to try to add to it or juice it up, get you juiced up. You can just sit there in amazement of the information that he was giving out. So he's with the recording angel. Well, he did a good job of recording and presenting.
Yes, and I'm using these phrases, but I think it's an understatement. An excellent storyteller.
Yes.
You know, Brother Akbar, by the way, in this photograph, in addition to the brothers, our brothers, we mentioned our beloveds. There is our dear brother Joshua Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's son, and Mother Khadijah's son as well, who has made his transition years ago. But Brother Joshua, we look at this, just these little small tidbits of history, you know. See, this is why, and one thing Brother Akbar did at all times when we would have our conventions, when he would be making presentations, if he was just having a small or a large crowd, he always encouraged us to what? Journal.
That's true.
Right there. That's right. That's right there. That's why he got so much information. He puts it down right there.
Yeah. One day I asked him, I said, Brother Brother Akbar, Minister Akbar. I said, how do, because he would carry him. He would carry just a fraction, just a small bit, but you know, he had a massive library. So I would ask him, how do you journal? He would tell us, it doesn't have to be long, you know. Went here, time, date. Oh, we met with this chief, or we met with this president. Oh, we went here, had coffee. He said even the the seemingly minute details are very critical, because there's something. And sometimes he would go back and say, but then it clicked. And so I just want to show you. Now, he didn't say to do this, but I have all these journals. I mean, now this is just I just got so many journals. But the thing about these journals, I would be willing to say, like, unlike Brother Akbar, you know, I start in one, and then I see another one, and I'll be like, oh, that's a pretty journal. I'm going to get that one. And I feel a vibe, and so I might write in one today and write in another one another day. So, you know, my date and time is important. He didn't say to do that. But and another thing he inspired me to do, I did not want to do radio broadcast. I did not. And I was pushing it away. And even when I was doing it, I was like, no, I'm with the final call. No, I'm with the final call. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing else. It's your final call. That's it. And he just told me, he said, my sister, he said, you have a voice. He said, and the people need to hear what you have to say. He said, this is important because you write for the final call, but everybody's not going to get the final call. Many people don't know about it, but I was at Pacifica Radio. That's a 5-station network. By the way, our brother, may Allah be pleased with him, Askia Muhammad. You know, the show lives on there thanks to our brother, student minister Jamil Muhammad Yarber. So, you know, not to go into Charlene's stuff, I'm just saying how he inspired that, and I got it. One day I said, okay, Brother Minister Akbar, you won't have to tell me again, because Brother Didan Kamathi, may Allah be pleased with him, of the All African Revolutionary People's Party and other organizations, was very supportive of me. And when I first met him, and I was like, his show came on before or after mine, and I heard Brother Minister Akbar, and I ran in the booth on his break, and I said, is that Minister Abdul Akbar? Yes. And I was like, oh my God, that's my minister. See, I was new. I was new, not only to the nation, but to consciousness, you know. So I just knew that I heard Brother Akbar on his show, and I was like, oh, okay, we're solid. And at any rate, Brother Akbar trained me in many things, taught me many things. It was hard coming, because I just refused to understand that it's about the information, the word that we're getting, and the different ways that we disseminate it, we share it with people, you know.
Now, speak on that of information. You know, we said we don't know how long the first God was in the dark before he turned on the light. We don't know how long it was before he was able to make for himself a body. We don't know how long. But in all that time, he had to record what was going on to keep up with it so you can develop a brain, a mind. So you can develop some equations, so you can see relationships. So this is why information is so important. Now listen to this.
Teach. Thank you for that.
The Nation of Islam in the 60s and the early 70s was the only place where you can go, almost any place you can go to get Black history. Okay? Long-term Black history going way back. Now what they're doing is flooding the internet with a lot of information. Okay, before they hid information from us, and it was Allah became the person Master Farrakhan. Muhammad first dropped the bomb in 1930, and it started the process of Armageddon. Here comes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Mr. Farrakhan. They start a revolution in the mind. So what they're doing now, we taught that the flood in the Revelations that the dragon was going to flood. We thought that meant, and it still can mean that, it was going to flood it about lies about the minister. Okay? But what they're doing, they're flooding you with information that some of it is true, but you don't know what's true and what's not true. But even what they tell you is true, is bearing witness to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, that Master Farrakhan Muhammad could recite 150,000 years of history. So now they're digging up pyramids, they're digging up all type of artifacts that they say, oh, this is 1 million years old. Oh, this completely changes the things of history. Huh? No, he's bearing witness to what Honorable Elijah Muhammad had taught us all along. Okay, that we every 25,000 years we do a new history. Okay, so it's we've been here for a long time, but before, when they had it locked into the Bible in the 6,000 years, it was only the Nation of Islam that broke through that. And everybody said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was just making up stuff. But now they're flooding this information, and now you thinking that you're getting something new, but really we'd already told you that before. But now you get it, and you don't give credit to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which means what? The information you got is not going to grow you.
Wow.
It's a lot of information, but you can't connect the dots because you refuse to connect the dots. You refuse to give credit to what credit is due. So therefore, you left out there, and you cannot connect the dots because you refuse to connect the dots because you don't want to know where them dots going to carry you because you know where they would. So now you got information, but you're still lost. Except for us who follow the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Mr. Farrakhan. Now, whenever we see something in the news, we can place it. So, okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Yes,
I think I was telling, well, look, people say, that's why you got to make sure you got your words straight and you're upbeat and righteous, because you'll carry the water back to the hearts that you got it from. But I was speaking to someone, I don't think it was you, Dr. Ridgley, but I was speaking to one of our sisters, and I was saying, with things that are going on, well, I mean, the reality is, if I could see, just going ballistic without having this knowledge, and why it being one of the reasons, because it's not the only reason, it's not the destruction is the consequence, but the heaven, the will of God, just being able to serve, is so important that we get the word out. It's just not that. Y'all help me. Y'all help me.
Well,
It's not right. Just like, it's not okay to just like, I know this and I'm here and I'm with it. And sometimes that weighs heavy. It's like, what else can be done? But just go talk to somebody. You don't have to do a whole million things. How you doing? Have you heard of? Sometimes it just gets heavy. Go ahead, Dr. Ridgley. Rescue me.
Yeah, no. When it's a privilege for me to be on this program because it allows me to feel that I'm doing something that's important.
Yes.
So I get a chance to express what I have found out. And that gives this truth really gives life for me.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
It gives life for me because I write these books. I'm going like, look, what am I going to do? Carry it to my grave?
Yes. Yes, you're right.
What am I going to do? Carry it to my grave? No. You find it, you check it out, and if it's correct, you give it to the people. That's what you're supposed to do, and that gives me life. I know. I really do enjoy every time I get a chance to teach our people something of value because it gives me value to be able to do that. And I like to see when they light up. You know what I mean?
You like to see what?
When they light up, when you can see in their eyes.
Yes, sir.
Sharing
they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They might try to cover it up and go to sleep in a minute, but right there you got the eyes open, boom, you hit them and they got it. Boom, they got it, right? But it's so funny how they try. You can also know when you're going too far with them, they pull the shades down. They've been looking at you, but they ain't listening no more because they don't want to go that far. But anyway, it's fun.
It reminds me of the book Closing the Gap, which, again, on the cover, you have Brother Akbar and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the silhouette. But this conversation about electrical currency and higher levels of thinking and talking and how you can change the countenance of a person if you put out the positive words, like, just listening to the minister talk on that scientific level. I'm just listening to you. And again, from the beginning of this show till now, I know my spirit has been quickened. I know my energy has picked up because of the level of conversation that talking about, what did the minister say? God's word. That's the highest level of conversation, Allah's word. So,
and I've forgotten about the final call headlines. I just
yes, ma'am.
My head down here. Well, I usually come off screen to do this, but my attention is also on that video by the video I said I referenced earlier, but it's escaping me. It's just not. Come on, I'll get it. I'll find it. Okay, here's another photo. Thank you, Nation of Islam. So the Facebook page that said there were no captions yet, but looking, handling business. Of course, what else they would be doing? I don't know whether this is. See, Brother Brian was here. He'd be like, "Oh, this possibly." But at any rate, it's the images are. You can see it, Dr. Ridgley. I want to bring it larger. Okay, I'll bring it larger.
Good. So, good. It's not fair for a man to be that good looking. It's just not fair.
They say, "Give you some."
Give me some. Look at that. Lord Almighty. We just blessed. They said that the prophets in the past said they would give an arm or a leg just to be here to see him. And I can see why they felt that way, because he definitely is a looker. Okay, he is something to behold. What Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, look at him. Okay? Look at him. And follow him. So where he say go, go. Where he say don't go, don't go.
That's right.
But just look at him. I mean, when he came out there for July 4th, 2020, the Criterion in the garden and that green, okay. That was for the whole world to see. That was the Garden of Gethsemane. Yes. Okay, so he's made attractive, so you can't look away. You cannot not look at him, and you cannot not listen. I'm in white. I was wrong about the color. I was thinking about Savior's Day.
Swan song.
Right.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, green swan song and Savior's Day. But go ahead, Dr.
You got to see him and you got to hear him.
Right.
You know, his voice is his rod, and he will capture you with that voice. And like he said, it's Savior's Day. Y'all want to see some more, somebody who ain't got no sound, is whispering, you know what I mean? But he can't. He's just as strong as ever. So all praises are due to Allah.
Oh, I'm sorry to put. Okay, hold on a second. That's a no. That was a mistake. I'm looking for it, but one thing I did not intend to do was put the Google search up, because sometimes you pop stuff open and you don't know what's over there. So okay, here it is. Yeah, you don't know. So here it is, Dr. Rizzi. This is from the Final Call news page. Well, let me share that. Oh, not the bean pie. We did the bean pie. Here it is. Oh, is it in there? Like my granddaughter says,
Oh
here.
yeah. Okay.
So at any rate, and I did that because you mentioned
Yeah.
the green.
Yes.
Okay, bring it back down then. Finalcall.com. Okay, let's see. We need to get to the final call. Here we go. Stop sharing that. Oh, let's go back. I wanted to see if there's any other photographs.
And when we bring Brother Sultan, we're gonna have a whole bunch of photographs.
Yes.
And the effects of that tour. I'm gonna talk about it when he's on. The effects of those tours he did going through Africa and around the world. We didn't really see the effects of it until the Criterion.
Say that.
Okay, so we'll wait until he comes and we'll discuss that.
That's a great brother. Brother, thank you for saying that, Dr. Rizzi. On the world tours, I was pregnant, and everyone, Brother Sultan's book, Sultan Muhammad, on Facebook, but it's called Farrakhan World Tours and Press Coverage. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's World Friendship Tours, 1996 to 1998. At any rate, I was with child, my daughter. I was expecting when he came back from the first one. Yep. When he came back from, no, I'm sorry, 98, when he came back. So I had on not even training wheels to write for the Final Call newspaper. And, but I was there. And so I was expecting 7 months or something with my daughter. But I just remember the sister at the time, Sister Deborah Muhammad, who worked for Brother then Richard, who became Brother Naba Muhammad, was the managing editor. She encouraged me to write. So at any rate, the bottom line is we're on the, convention floor. And I think we were at the, wherever, we was on the convention floor. So he was coming back, and it was the writers and those who are in the know, like the people who were supposed to be there, they were going over there, and she was assigned to go. And she said, well, I'm training you, so you're coming too. I said, I wasn't assigned. I was like, no, I'm not supposed to go there. Wait a minute, the palace. I wasn't spooky. I was just like, I was more obedient then, let me say that. But I was like, I don't belong there. I wasn't invited there. She said, I'm training you, you're coming with me. And we ended up right there, talking about feet, just a few feet away, with the press corps. But I was with the Final Call staff, and it was something to experience. It was really something to experience. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, I want to write paper. It was after the march, all of that. That was my experience with the world tours, in terms of being at the press conference when he spoke about why he went and everything. I did not know, as a baby, what was going on. And I did know in terms of, because he said it, and I was watching very avidly, very closely, as a so-called Negro. Oh, you're talking about Minnesota complaining because he went? No, he didn't. I'm in the streets. if you will, meaning I'm not in the mosque, I'm out. But to be there was something to experience. Brother Akbar, Brother Akbar looking at me, talking about me. Brother Dr. Reese, I want to say something as we start to round out and get to the final call. You talked about how beautiful, and how it's just not, not fair to look so good. You're right. There's no excuse. There's nothing, you can't find anything to reject other than you just want to, as you said. And thank you for I just want to reiterate that, his heart, just the light, just everything, the love of God in him, when to say he took on an assignment. And it's so funny because I have Brother Akbar here, Minister Akbar. We're talking about Minister Farrakhan, but I'm catching chills right now. I'm just thinking about how with him, you see, his helpers, and the same on his level could be said, and I'm saying it for Brother Minister Akbar. Minister Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is making all these moves, serving, doing his job. Somebody got to cut right that.
That's right.
I think I'm reiterating what you said. You said that already. So deliberative dialogue. I don't have to go there. I'm just getting them full. Look at it. Look at the brothers. Look at these.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at the Akbar. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Mother. Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, that's a queen right there.
Let's go back.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back.
That's the queen.
And our dear brother President Nelson Mandela, freedom fighter.
Yeah. Those are the next picture.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I'm getting lost in the sauce. I really am. I forget.
Next picture. I'm trying to find me. I was there because I went to Cuba with the minister. He took us to Cuba. There I am. You see? Okay, you see the brother in the blue.
Dr. Conrad Royal.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I was there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Too. I see.
That was great.
Okay, look, Brother James M. Toomey. Okay.
Yes, right. Yes. Musician, yes.
Commander.
Wow.
Fidel. Brother Fidel Castro. Commandant.
I mean, they've been sanctioned since 1965.
And I'll see in the final call in a moment what's happening. Cuba's in the headlines right now. Look at Brother Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad. Look at this, you all smiles. Look at them. Look at this. Like, oh my God, brother.
What you do smile? That's Fidel.
Brother,
you smile. You said what?
I know.
What? I'm here. That's him. Him.
That's beautiful.
He saw. Look at he's over the minister. One thing about it. Can I tell you? My daughter actually, once again, outside looking in. I'm like, oh, remembered all those things. Clocked them coming in. Okay, so when my daughter said she wanted to be a veterinarian, I remembered. Oh well, we're not doing it here in the West. So Cuba, put her on the track to Cuba, and she changed her course. Her interest changed, but it was. I remember. I mean, again, the service is. They didn't get the heads didn't get in the picture, but Dr. Rizzi, we see you.
Oh yeah, they got the ball head. There it is.
The minister. Let's go to the next picture.
Yeah, there's the picture of the students.
Yep.
And I would be remiss if I don't do this right now. Go and what is it? We survived. Sister Rakaya, Sister Rakaya.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
That's Brother Sylvester's daughter.
Here it is. I have to put that. This will be something coming next, but let's go to this tab first. Okay, you said Brother Sylvester. Look.
Yeah, Sister Rakaya, and that's Brother Sylvester's daughter.
Oh, but look at she's in Houston, Dr.
Eliason. Yeah.
Eliason, and then Whoa, viewers! I guess we just checked. Okay, look. Here's the other way.
Explain that what that is. These are
Yes,
students from
students.
America who's down there getting free medical school in Cuba.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so look at that. Okay, now, um, brother Shiral in New York, Sister Tioka, and brother Courtney, right? Brother Courtney's
Hmm.
son has recently graduated
That's
and
right.
doing residency.
Hmm.
There is her name, Dr. Desta Muhammad out of Compton, has been
Mhm.
practicing for some time. I don't know the current status, but I do like where she is in the land. Um, and that was brother. His name escaped me right. It's escaping me right now because I'm so excited to see these. There's a tab I want to share. Where is it? I have the article, and it is of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's granddaughters. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's in another place. Share this tab instead. Do you
Mhm.
see them? Here it is. They're on the same page, so I can't pull it up too high because of how I pulled it in. But
Oh,
this is Sister Rakaya Farrakhan and Sister don't beat me up, Mariam Farrakhan. And these are the daughters of our dear brother Mustafa Farrakhan and Sister Karen Farrakhan. May Allah be pleased with her, and brother Louis Farrakhan Jr. and Sister Lizo. Now, did I pray? I said my sister Lisa's daughter, and
yeah.
so they did it. Look at this. This is written by Sister Janaya S. Adams, August 5th, 2020. Uh-huh. Dr. Far, Dr. Rakaya, Dr. Mariam. And so all praises due to Allah. Yeah, let's get into if I go to another picture, I might start crying, but let's see. Share this tab instead. Is there any more that the final call put? There it is.
Mm.
The third international conference. Okay. We know he's in Muslim land there. Let's see what else. I didn't intend for it to be 2 hours. Oh, here we
Yeah, 'cause
go.
I gotta eat now. Come on, this is the end of the
Okay,
room now.
look at it. Look at that. There he is. It's done. Done deal. Finished. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
I didn't intend to do that. There was
Mhm.
no comments in the thread. I didn't see any questions. So, um, Dr. Risley, let me just show the final call cover, please, because we didn't go. I guess we did do.
We
We did.
did. Yes, we did.
I don't want to use deceptive intelligence. We didn't go through all.
We did. I know I did.
We went through previous headlines. We really did. Everyone, it is to be merciful, brother. Brother, that's right. They're on the East Coast and the Midwest. I'm in Cali, so thank you all, brother Sultan. In the very near future, inshallah. This has been Liberated Sisters. I was way off the script. Thank you. Eid Mubarak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kareem.
Kareem.
Eid Kareem. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I'm just gonna keep it real. In the words of one of my good brothers, things happen that just mess me up, and it's in addition to our brother's transition, not a sadness like you know, I because I have I know now it, his flesh is where it is. It's just the culmination of things, and I'm fasting. Fasting. So there is the announcement. You can go to finalcall.com or noi.org on Facebook, Instagram. The announcement is there for his janaza. Speaking of Brother Minister Akbar Muhammad, which is going to be at Mosque Mariam on Stony Island in Chicago on March 27th. That's a Friday. Let me say that correctly. And I feel I'm compelled to say that here, but this is the 27th, next Friday. All of that information will be announced. Thank you for bearing with me consistently with Liberated Sisters and your patience and sticking with the broadcast. the guests are expert. They're expert. And so in my production again this week, just did not remember to remind our dear brother. And so for that reason, among other things, brother Sultan is not twiddling thumbs waiting around to be on a podcast. He serves the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the family and the Nation of Islam and his family, his wife, his children, whatever he does and is doing, it's his business. So it's a lot, it's not, I know I'm belaboring the point, and I feel the need to, I guess, because that's on me. I promise you something. Word is bond. I promise you something. Just like I also promised you to find the message that I saw. So it will be in the link after the show. It will be in the link. I'll post it. Not in the link. I'll post it, that message, that video from Brother Iron Muhammad on YouTube. It's the channel that posted that. And thank you, Brother Iron Muhammad, whoever you are. It used to be Brother Troy out of Oakland, out of the Bay Area. And it evolves, of course, many, many other different people. You're not the only one. However, I'm saying that you're a go-to for me, and I appreciate that, because it seems like when I'm looking for something, there it is. Oh, Iron Muhammad has it on his YouTube channel. I think I should ask you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need to start asking for certain different things, I'm told. So subscribe to Liberated Sisters if you find value there. So here we go. Those things I promised in show will be, inshallah, in the thread. I'm going to go get that now. Thank you for tuning in, and for everyone who is observing the fast of Ramadan. Eid Mubarak, and I pray that you had a blessed, or having a blessed Ramadan. I know I have, best ever. Thank you. May Allah be pleased with our brother, Minister Akbar Muhammad, and finalcall.com for the current edition, finalcalldigital.com. You can subscribe. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad for Liberated Sisters. Assalamu alaikum.